Why do we sit here being silent, watching our leaders turn into tyrants? Have they forgotten which side they're fighting for? Checks and balances set aside and rule of laws, youth and ours, and Constitution openly ignored. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Is it time for right and left to join a greater cause? Man, I'm not okay. The rich claim to be victimized just to attack the marginalized. Is 1% really worth more than all the sick and poor? Always preaching about fellowship while planning their dictatorship. Now we've seen how all of this plays out before. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call. Man, I'm not okay. Ever wonder all the mystery, why they whitewash our history, keep dividing is their plan? All in all, such a scam. Algorithm very sly, only used to spread the lies. Politicians know well, hate is simple to upsell. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call.
We are not okay. America is not okay, and we all know that. Former Congressman Joe Walsh, this is The Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Let's figure out how to get okay together. I can't try to treat all of this with humor. I can't be funny about it all. The world feels like it's aflame right now. Not just America, the whole world. All because of this idiotic madman in the White House. It's in my private moments, I'll scroll through what other people post, and people way more clever and way more funny than I am can point out through humor how fucked up things are right now. It's just not what I lead with. I lead with the truth, because I don't find any of this funny. And what I'm going to talk about this morning, I don't find any of it funny. I find it to be sad, disastrous, and dangerous. And that's what I have to lead with. Like, for instance, we've never been here before. Listen to what I'm about to say. A United States president initiates a war illegally, unconstitutionally, but a United States president initiates a war, and because that United States president lies as he breathes, we really don't know how this war is going. We can't believe anything he says about the war. Now, just put your cup of coffee down, pull over to the side of the road just for a second, and think about that. We are in a place right now, and I know I've been saying this for a long, long time, but we are in a place right now where the American people cannot believe a single thing that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth. The American people, we're at war. We started a war. This is a war of choice. Just take the war. When it comes to the war against Iran, the American people cannot believe anything he says about this war. No matter where you stand on the war, we all should be able to agree that this is a really, really bad thing. This is a really bad place. Again, people much more clever than I can present what I just said in a way that will make you fucking crack up, because it's so horrible that we have a president who lies as he breathes. He took us to war, and we cannot believe anything that comes out of his mouth. There's a guy named Douglas Boneparth. I'm grabbing this from him. I reposted it everywhere over the weekend. And he just went through day by day what the president just grabbed a sample of what the president of the United States has been saying about this war. One day, the war is winding down, Trump shouts. The next day, we're sending in troops, Trump shouts. The next day, unconditional surrender. The next day, war is ending soon. Next day, war is almost over. Next day, total obliteration. And then on Sunday, he goes and plays golf. Every single thing Donald Trump says about this war contradicts what he says about the war the next day. It happened again this morning. Trump, and I think we've got it, Keith. Trump posted something to the effect that I've told our military to stop bombing Iran. Talks with Iran are going very, very well. Something like that. Keith, do we have what Trump said? That, and maybe I didn't give that one to you. I apologize. But I've got the next one, Keith. Trump came out this morning and said, posted, tweeted, doesn't matter. He said it. I've halted our military because we're engaged in talks with Iran and they're going really, really well. Again, the same president who right now has boots on the ground heading to Iran. Trump says that this morning. The markets react. Like with everything with Trump, right? When Trump announces tariffs, the markets sink. When Trump is forced to walk back his tariffs, the markets soar. Same thing with this war. When Trump says almost over, we're negotiating with Iran, the markets rise. About 45 minutes after Trump said that this morning, about 45 minutes after Trump said, we've stopped our military operation, we're engaged in talks with Iran, and they're going really well, Iranian state media put this out. Do we have that, Keith? Maybe not. I did a lousy job this morning, Keith. I apologize. About 45 minutes after Trump said, there we go. Thank you, brother. Iranian state media puts this out. There's no direct contact with Trump, not even through intermediaries. Trump retreated after hearing that our targets would be all power plants in West Asia. That's Iranian state media coming out 45 minutes after Trump said, boom, talks with Iran are going great. Iran says there are no talks. Now, what I'm about to say, thanks, Keith, what I'm about to say may sound just astounding. For many of you, it may sound unpatriotic. I believe Iranian state media. Let me rephrase that. We are in a place right now where Iranian state media is more believable than the president of the United States. We are in a place right now where Iranian state media, their state media, is more trustworthy than the president of the United States. That's a stunning thing to say because we know Iranian state media, like Russian state media, like Chinese state media, like North Korean state media. We know that state media and all these authoritarian dictatorial regimes, they all lie all the time. Trump lies more. I mean it. If it comes down to believing what Iranian state media says or what Donald Trump says, it's not a close contest. And if that really offends some of you, sorry, but not sorry. This is where we are, right? This is where we are right now. This is a really bad place. See, it's a bad thing, boys and girls. It's a really, really bad thing to have a president who lies every time he opens his mouth. The fact that we're even talking about this, the fact that Trump puts out something today that says, again, war over, or we've stopped, we're negotiating with Iran, and Iranian state media says there are no negotiations. Come on now. You put those two things side by side, no matter what you think of Iranian state media, most Americans are going to say, you know what? Trump's a fucking pathological liar. I don't believe a thing he says. Oh my God, I actually believe Iranian state media. Iranian state media, not that far removed from, I posted this morning, Donald Trump, here we are, America. Donald Trump is Baghdad Bob. That's Donald Trump. You all remember Baghdad Bob, right? The Iraqi spokesperson who Saddam Hussein and the regime threw out there every day to lie about how the war was going from Iraq's perspective. Man, he became a Saturday Night Live joke. Baghdad Bob, it was fucking hilarious. He'd come out every day and just spew. He'd put a positive spin on everything in the Iraq war, that everything that went against the truth, it became comical. Baghdad Bob. That's Trump. That's not funny. And if you think I'm crazy for posting that this morning, Donald Trump is Baghdad Bob. He actually is Baghdad Bob. He goes out there every day and he lies about the war every time he opens his mouth. The Wall Street Journal just published an editorial that said, shame on you, Donald Trump. You are Baghdad Bob. The Wall Street Journal this morning said the same damn thing. I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but I'm not sorry. Because we elected a pathological liar about everything, about things big and small, about everything. And he lies because it's what he always has done throughout his life. And he lies because his supporters have told him point blank they don't give a fuck if he lies to them. But man, this is serious shit because Trump came out and lied this morning about negotiations going real well with Iran. And so the markets went up, right? Every time Trump has to walk back one of his fuck ups, the markets go up. Iran comes out and says, that's not true. We're not negotiating with America. And boom, the markets head back down. Maybe, right? Smarter people know this way more than I do. Maybe this whole time, like with tariffs, like with everything else, Trump lies because he's playing the markets. He's manipulating the markets. Maybe. I just think he doesn't know how to do anything but lie. But when you think in the, what has it been, almost 3 weeks that this war has been going on, we've never gotten the same answer from Trump about why we did it, how it's going, and what the end game is. Every hour or two, he says something that contradicts what he said an hour or two prior. And so it's not at all unreasonable that most Americans now, oh, think about this. No matter your politics, just think about this. Nobody goes to Donald Trump for the truth. You want to know how this war is really going? You want to know what the status of this war really is? You have to tune out the president and people around him, and you've got to go to all other sources to try to get at what's really happening on the ground. We're at war, a war we started. And we can't go to the man who started this war for the truth. Baghdad Bob. My God. I wish I had a dollar every time I said this. I don't care what your politics are, but my God, that should bother all of us. That should offend all of us. That we can't believe a thing that the President of the United States says, that right now, and I stand by this, right now, I believe, we all should believe Iranian state media more than the President of the United States. That's where we are, MAGA, MAGA. That's where we are. And no matter your politics, my God, man, that should bother every single one of us. I'm asked constantly, right? You've heard me say this. Joe, what is going to move Trump's voters off of Trump? I'm not just talking about the MAGA base. I'm talking about everybody who voted for Trump in 24 who wasn't part of the hardcore MAGA base. They're people who I call the yeah, but voters. Like I would talk to them during the 2024 campaign. They didn't love Trump. They knew he was a bullshitter. They knew he was an asshole, but they'd say, yeah, but Joe, yeah, but the border, yeah, but the economy, yeah, but affordability, yeah, but the price of eggs, yeah, there was always, yeah, but Biden's too old, yeah, but I don't like Kamala's laugh, whatever. There was always a yeah, but. These voters, all of them, including Trump's hardcore base, the only way they will ever turn away from Trump is if they realize they've been repeatedly lied to. And I hear from those folks every week. Or they feel real fucking economic pain. They feel hurt. They feel life pain, man. They feel stuff like I lost my job. I can't hire anybody. This uncertainty is killing our small business. Oh my God, we just raided that facility in town and now I can't find any good, hardworking immigrants to work. my site, to work the farm. They feel real economic pain. Oh my God, shit still costs too much. Oh my God, inflation's going through the roof. Oh my God, this hurts. Oh my God, these long ass lines at the airport. Oh my God, the price of airfare. Oh my God, routes are being canceled. Oh my God, the price at the pump. Pain because of this man's idiocy. Pain because of this man's stupidity. Pain because of this man's incompetence and cruelty. That more than anything, even more than being lied to, based on all the conversations I have every day, it's just feeling the real pain of what fucking Trump is doing. That like they feel it, like they go fill up their car and they can't believe how much gas costs. That kind of pain. I got an email last night from a friend who talked about this. His brother-in-law, a big MAGA enthusiast. My buddy emails me last night and says, my brother-in-law, big MAGA dude, voted for Trump 3 times. He's officially done. He declared he's officially done with Trump. Why? I asked him. Because of the price of gas at the pump. 3 or 4 trips to the gas station, he's done. He feels betrayed. Whatever it is, real pain. Keith, do we have a shot of, it's just a nightmare at some of these airports. And thank you, boss. This is playing out at airports all over the country. Unprecedented lines, unprecedented wait times, 2 hours, 3 hours and more, lines going out into the parking lot, lines going out into long-term parking, shit we've never seen. And Trump, what's Trump's answer? I'm going to put ICE agents at the airports. They can't do anything that TSA is doing. So they're standing around or they're arresting people under orders of Trump. But the American people just trying to get on an airplane and fly somewhere are feeling real pain. And when they see a headline like this, Keith, do we have that headline of what Trump said to Thune about and Republicans about I'm not going to fund it? John Thune, the minority leader in the Senate, top Republican in the Senate, met with Trump over the weekend, said, we got a deal. We got to do something about this TSA thing. This is a fucking mess. I've got an idea. We can fund, Democrats have agreed to it. We can fund DHS right now, and we can get ICE funded in the next reconciliation package, but we can get DHS totally funded right now so we can get TSA funded so we can do something about these lines at the airports. John Thune on his knees in the White House this weekend begging Trump to do something about the pain average Americans are feeling, and Trump told them to fucking get lost. Trump told them no. Trump told them, I don't want that deal that Republicans and Democrats have agreed to fund all of DHS, not ICE, but then fund ICE in the next reconciliation package. Trump said no. Thanks, Keith. Trump yelled at Thune and said no and said, pass the SAVE Act. And then Trump came out and said that later on this morning. No, we're not going to do anything about DHS or the lines at the airports until the Senate passes the SAVE Act, his Voter Suppression Act, which will not pass unless the Senate gets rid of the filibuster, which is not going to happen. So the long lines at the airports, the 3 to 4 hour wait times, pain, real pain. Trump says, fuck you. And by the way, we're here because Donald Trump won't obey the Constitution. That's why we're here. ICE at our airports. Think about where we are right now. Think about America in 25 and 26. We've got boots on the ground on our streets. We've now got boots on the ground in our airports, and we've got boots on the ground soon in Iran. Boots on the ground everywhere you turn, MAGA, MAGA. ICE, and just think about that. An agency that 2/3 of the American people rightly right now can't stand. Trump says, I'm going to put them in the airports. They can't do what TSA is doing because they're not trained to do that. So these ICE agents cannot do anything about the long lines and the long wait times. They're there doing two things, standing around and arresting people. They've been ordered by Trump to arrest people if you can. So they're looking for immigrants and they're looking for citizens who might act up. And all the while, airlines are raising fares. Airlines, because of the war, are now canceling routes. Oil is skyrocketing, and oil skyrocketing, gang, doesn't just impact the price at the pump. It impacts damn near everything you and I buy. I look, and what I went on MS Now this weekend talking about how the Iran war is fucking with our economy, and I made one point. I said, yeah, it's fucking with the price of everything. It's increasing uncertainty. It's going to make everything more expensive. But we need to remember, even before Trump launched this war against Iran, even before that, Trump had already single-handedly fucked up this economy with his tariff madness, with his mass deportation cruelty. Don't forget, before his war of choice, the economic pain of Trump's chaos, madness, idiocy, and cruelty was already there. Rising inflation, everything costing more, job growth stalled, small businesses not doing a damn thing, not investing, not hiring anybody because of too much fucking uncertainty created by this madman in the White House. So when I do talk to anybody about what's going on right now, all of this pain, and I really don't believe most Americans fully grasp how bad economically this will get here and around the world. Not just because of this war, but because of this war. I don't think people really grasp yet what might be coming. But whenever I do talk to anybody who voted for him, even if they're not hardcore MAGA, I say, look, guys, this is what happens. This kind of pain that we all are feeling. We're all feeling. This is what happens when you put an utterly idiotic, cruel, sociopathic, pathologically dishonest madman in the White House. When you put that kind of thing in the White House, you're going to get the world burning with real pain. And right, for whatever reason, Trump voters, why you voted for him? Because Biden was too old, or you didn't like Kamala's laugh, or whatever it was. This is what happens when you put a sociopathic madman in the White House. And my only hope, as it always is that most of these Trump voters who are beginning to feel real pain, my hope for them is that this will wake them up. That's all. That this will wake them up. Like my buddy's brother-in-law who said, that's fucking it. The third time he had to fill up his tank. That's it. This son of a bitch betrayed me, he said. This isn't what I expected. I didn't expect a war in Iran to drive up the price of fuel for my truck like it is. I'm done with Trump. Woke him up. And that's just one story, but I hear stuff like that every single day. Can we stop something? Chris Christie said something over the weekend that just really pissed me off. Keith, do we have that headline? What a child does. Chris Christie torches Trump. Chris Christie on ABC News over the weekend. The mainstream fucking media just cracks me up. Chris Christie called Trump a child. It's what a child does, alluding to what Trump posted over the weekend when Robert Mueller, 81-year-old Robert Mueller, patriot and hero, died. We've got that. Do we have that? I'm sure everybody in the world's seen it, Keith, but that post of Trump's when Mueller died from the President of the United States. This was Fridays. It's Saturday. Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. Robert Mueller dies, 81 years old. No matter what you think of Robert Mueller, 81 years old, he died. Served this country heroically in the military and beyond. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, for the world to see, revels in Mueller's death. Good. I'm glad he's dead. Donald Trump. You know what, Chris Christie? Thanks, Keith. Chris Christie calling Trump a child because he posted that? Fuck that. He's not a child. You call Trump a child, you're excusing his behavior, Chris Christie. Don't call Donald Trump a child. That's not what a child does. I don't know many children. I've never known many children that gleefully laugh about somebody dying, that revel in somebody's death. That's not what a child does. No. And I used to do some of this back in the day. I'd say Trump is no better than a spoiled 7-year-old child. Stop calling Trump a child. You're excusing his adult behavior. Trump's not a child. A child doesn't do that. You know who does that, Chris Christie? And it just cracks me up. ABC, oh, look at Chris Christie just torched Trump. Bullshit. A child doesn't do that. A child doesn't say, good, I'm glad he died. Robert Mueller, I'm glad he died. A child doesn't do that. An utterly horrible human being does that. A sociopath does that. A pathological liar does that. Somebody who is utterly void of all humanity, decency, and empathy does that. One of the worst human beings who's ever lived does that. And if you're bothered by me saying Donald Trump's one of the worst human beings to ever live, he's certainly in the fucking team photo. Quit calling Trump a child. That's an easy thing to say. An adult who is void of, meaning does not have a shred of decency, empathy, or humanity, does that. And we put him in power again. Hey, this Saturday, guys, no kings, right? If you're as fired up and righteously angry and pissed off as I am, you better get your butt out somewhere all over the country at a No Kings protest this Saturday, the 28th. Make sure you do. Check out Indivisible, check out 5501, and find a rally, a protest, a No Kings rally somewhere near you. Become part of the resistance. Make your voice heard. Bring friends, man. These No Kings rallies have been growing every single time they've been held. They need to keep growing. Don't just bring you, bring friends, bring people who've never come before, and voice your resistance to this mad, horrible king. Paxos.app. There it is, guys. Paxos.app. Our tool is out there, and it's helping immigrants and citizens right now lawfully fight back against ICE. Check it out. Go to Paxos.app, Paxos.app. Check out the tool yourself and help us put the tool into the hands of people you know who would benefit from it. Paxos.app. My Substack, guys, Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. Everything I think, see, do, hear, smell, feel, taste, everything's there. Check out my Substack, Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. If you are at all moved by what I say, help me keep saying what I say. Become a subscriber. As always, send me an email if you've got anything on your mind. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. All one word, the Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Hey, have a good Monday. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, follow, and share The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple, Spotify. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to The Social Contract on Substack. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.